Here we are at the end of week 7. We have a review. I'm just going to go over each of the points and give some examples along the way. But the main idea is obviously not to teach you new things, but to make sure that you understand the basic concepts. And if anything seems particularly foreign, it would be probably a good opportunity to go back and watch the parts of those videos to help you know what I'm talking about. So the first one that we learned this week was 又什么又什么. Now, actually, 什么 here is another use of this question word. It's used to say, like in English, we usually say blah, blah, blah. Like, he said blah, blah, blah to me. In Chinese, you say, he said what to me. Now, I don't mean blah, blah, blah as in something that's like, you're not necessarily mocking. I just mean, it means something. Like he said this to me. And he said blah, blah, blah to me. He said 什么什么. So 又什么又什么 means the 什么just represents something. So it's 又 adjective to say both this adjective and that, both tall and skinny, both. What example do I have? 你的房子又大又漂亮. There I violated the same number of syllables. 你的房子又大又漂亮. Your home, your house is both big and beautiful. Then we talked about 直到 to emphasize a long time. You can have a negative. If it's in the positive, it's paired with 才. If it's in the negative, it's paired with 都 to be something like here. 直到半夜我才回到家. 直到 all the way to 半夜, the middle of the night, 我才回到家, got home. Or 直到半夜我都没回家. Even till all the way to the middle of the night, I still hadn't gotten home. Then we talk about causative verbs. Verbs like he had me go somewhere, or he asked me to, or he made me, or he caused me to, whatever. There's a bunch of those that we talked about in Chinese. We have 让, we had 叫, 要, 是, and 请. I'm sure that's not an exhaustive list. I imagine that there's other ones out there, but those are 5 common ones. And so that is just like it is in English. Causative verbs beautifully can translate word for word in many sentences. It's subject, causative verb, object, and then the verb that causative word, that thing was made to do. Then we talked about the preposition 向 to mean toward, like toward a direction, or it can mean from, like to borrow from somebody, or to learn from somebody, or imitate somebody. And then we talked about jīngguò, pass by. If it's direct, if you're talking about, like to pass by something, then it means pass by when it's used in its most literal, direct meaning. But it means through when you talk about like through all of this time and effort, something happened, or through study I learned to speak Chinese, or whatever. And then we talked about how to say not even one or not even a little of something. And our little formula was the word one, measure word, and then the noun if it's spoken, and then either 都 or 也, and then some kind of negative, 不 or 没, and then the verb. Or in some cases, if you use 一点, you can actually have an adjective in place of the verb there, but the predicate. Like, 我一个人都不喜欢. I don't like even one person. Well, that's sad, huh? Too bad. No, I like a lot of people, actually. Then we talked about, and let's use an 一点 example. 我一点都不饿. I am not even a little bit hungry. 我一点都不饿. Then we talked about 越什么越什么. Again, here 什么 is just meaning something. 越什么越什么. That means the more, the more. 我番茄越大越好吃. The bigger the tomatoes are, the better they taste. Probably not true, huh? At least not always true. But anyway, that's how that works. And then we talked about a similar phrase, 越来越什么了, and this means more and more. 番茄越来越红了. The tomatoes are more and more red, or redder and redder. I think is how you'd say that. And then we talked about a whole bunch of question word stuff. You want to do what? 就 do what. Or it doesn't always have, you want to do, 就 do. 你想吃就吃. If you want to eat, just eat. If you want to eat, just eat. If you want to buy, just buy. Or if 你想做什么就做什么. You want to do what? 就 do what. That's literally, I mean, it will do whatever you want. 你想喝什么就喝什么. Drink whatever you want. 你想吃什么就吃什么. Eat whatever you want. 你想什么时候去就什么时候去. Go whenever you want. And then we broaden that concept to say those, our example was, 你唱什么我也唱什么. You sing what? I also sing what. So I will sing whatever. And you can, any question word, whatever, whenever, for how much, how much, all of those things. And then we said measure words can mean any. My cute little sentence here is any question word, all like that. I mean, so here we have, for all we have do. This sounds like a Singaporean talking, like any man, all like that. I don't mean to make fun of Singaporeans. I have good Singaporean friends, but that phrase "like that" just makes me think of Singapore. So any 什么时候 anytime, any 什么人 or any, does that work? 谁 什么人 what person 谁 would work, whoever 谁都很好, all people are great. Then we have question words can also mean some, like I would like to go at some time. 我想什么时候去. That means I'd like to go at some point, at some time. Okay, there you have it. That's what we learned in week 7. It's really a power-packed week in a lot of ways. Some of these were more simple. Like yo is pretty simple. 知道 is, I think, a little more complex actually. A lot of times it's just one phrase, but it's expressing some ideas that are pretty nuanced in some ways. Causative verbs was super simple. It's basically just like English. Xiàng wasn't too complex. Jīngguò was also not too complex. This one, and then we got into more the yuèláiyuè. A little hard because it's a little different from English. I mean, the way the words play out, though it's pretty easily directly translatable in terms of like the meaning is not obscure or it's not twisted around. But then some of these other ones using question words to express statements and different kinds of statements, meaning like some or any of or whatever, those kinds of things. It's pretty mind-bending stuff. So it was a really big week. Thank you for sticking with me, and I hope you've learned a lot and are getting that stuff in inside. So great job.